Hello guys, hope you're studying. Uh, we are currently doing respiration, breathing, that breathing and exchange of gases chapter. And in that, now we are going to start larynx, right? Slowly and steadily, we are moving further in the chapter. We'll do questions. As I had told you in the earlier videos, that we'll be doing questions, lot of questions, and we'll also be taking things very slowly, one at a time, so that you can easily understand, right? So now we'll start with larynx. What is larynx? Commonly known as sound box. Okay, larynx is commonly known as sound box. And how will you define it? It is a short passage. It is a short passageway that lies in the midline of the neck. Okay, midline of the neck, anterior to the esophagus. Anterior to the esophagus. Okay, and so what do you mean when we say anterior to the esophagus? If this is the side view that we are drawing, right? So here, this is the esophagus. Anterior to the esophagus means here. Okay, so now we'll study the structure. We'll study the structure of larynx. The important thing to understand here is that it is made up of 9 pieces of cartilage. It is made up of 9 pieces of cartilage, in which 3 are paired, 3 are unpaired. I will tell you this with a diagram, and that diagram will be very clear, so you don't need to mug it up that which one is paired and which ones are unpaired. With the diagram, there will be a framework in your mind and you can easily remember. What you need to remember is that 3 are hyaline cartilages and 3 are elastic cartilages. Okay, this you need to remember. Okay, so let us see. Let me draw something for you and then you can easily understand. You remember the hyoid bone? Hyoid bone. It lies below the tongue, right? It lies below the tongue. It does not articulate with any other bone. It does not articulate with any other bone. Okay, so this is the hyoid bone. So this is the structure of thyroid cartilage. That is the biggest cartilage. Okay, this is the thyroid cartilage. This is the hyoid bone. Okay, so now this hyoid bone has to be attached with this thyroid cartilage. Okay, this has to be attached to the, sorry, not bone, cartilage. This has to be attached. This hyoid bone has to be attached with thyroid cartilage. Okay, so how will it be attached? It is attached with a membrane. Okay, it is attached with a membrane. What is attached? Thyroid cartilage and hyoid bone. So this, the name of this membrane becomes thyrohyoid membrane. Okay, thyrohyoid membrane. And to give it a little sturdiness, there is what? There is this ligament. Okay, and which this ligament is attaching what two parts? Hyoid and thyroid cartilage, hyoid bone and thyroid cartilage, and it is in the midline. Very easy to remember. Median thyrohyoid ligament. Okay, and on the lateral side also. So this is the lateral thyrohyoid ligament. Okay, this thyroid cartilage, first of all, it is the biggest cartilage. It is a hyaline cartilage. Okay, and it is not circular. It is not circular. It is not joint. Basically, it is not joined. You can imagine you take a sheet of paper, you fold it, but you don't join it. So that's what is like the thyroid cartilage. And this what we are making, it is when we see thyroid cartilage from the anterior view, from the front view. Okay, where there is your face, from the front view. Okay, now there's a slit or there's an incisor. So we can say it laryngeal incisor. I'll tell you about thyroid cartilage and all the cartilages, but what I want is that first you understand their locations, their structures, at least you get an idea before we start. Okay, so now this is laryngeal incisor. So now what we'll draw? We'll draw the cricoid cartilage, and this is the, let me use this color. Okay, this is the cricoid cartilage. Okay, now something to know about cricoid cartilage. It is circular or ring-like. Which one? Cricoid cartilage. Okay, cricoid cartilage. This is also a hyaline cartilage. Okay, so now we have to connect this thyroid cartilage with that cricoid cartilage. Okay, so this is the cricothyroid muscle. Okay, this is the this is the ligament. So median cricothyroid ligament. Okay, understanding? This is the anterior view that we are discussing. Okay, always remember this is the anterior view, because in the posterior view there will be different things. This is also the cricothyroid muscles, right? Okay, so now you get an idea that what are we actually going to study. In the anterior view, we see that there is a hyoid bone, there is a thyroid cartilage, which is the biggest cartilage in the larynx. This thyroid cartilage is connected to the hyoid bone with thyrohyoid membrane, and to provide sturdiness, there is median thyrohyoid ligament and lateral thyrohyoid ligament. Okay, and there is this cricoid cartilage, and from below there is, we can see this trachea with those rings. Okay, this is the trachea. We'll study trachea in the next lecture. Okay, so this is thyroid. This is the laryngeal, this slit we can see, this slit-like structure. This is the laryngeal incisor. This is the cricoid cartilage. It is the only hyaline cartilage which is circular or ring-like. Okay, Important thing to know. And this is the anterior view. Okay, so now we will study about the posterior view also. Now we will study about we had studied about the anterior view. We will study about the posterior view, so that you can get an idea of all the cartilages that we are going to study. So suppose now this is the thyroid cartilage. Suppose this is the thyroid cartilage. Okay, and if you want to know, so in some books it's also given there are 2 superior horns and 2 inferior horns of thyroid cartilage, which are known as superior cornu, 2 in number, and inferior cornu. Since it's curved, you cannot see the other side, 2 in number. Okay, this is the thyroid cartilage attached to the hyoid bone and all. And now there is this adenoid cartilage. There is this adenoid cartilage. And adenoid cartilage is what shape? It is pyramidal in shape. It is pyramidal in shape. This is what? This is adenoid cartilage. Okay. And here is this epiglottis. Okay, here is a flap like structure, and this is known as epiglottis. Epiglottis, it is a flap like structure. Okay, now these are adenoid cartilages are paired. Okay, so if the question comes, name the paired hyaline cartilage. Name the paired hyaline cartilage in larynx. Paired hyaline cartilage in larynx. So the answer is adenoid. Adenoid. Okay. So now we were studying the posterior view. We had studied that this is the thyroid cartilage, right? We are looking from the posterior view. And these are the adenoid cartilages, right? This is the epiglottis. Okay. So, and on adenoid, there is this 2 conical projections. These are also cartilages. These are corniculate cartilage. Corniculate cartilage, which are also paired. They are 2 in number. And here there are cuneiform cartilage. Cuneiform cartilage. They are also paired or 2 in number. Okay. So this is adenoid. I'm so sorry, not adenoid, arytenoid. I'm so sorry. Okay, this is arytenoid cartilage, not adenoid. Why I wrote this, I don't know. This is arytenoid cartilage. Okay, not adenoid. This is arytenoid. Okay, sorry. Okay, arytenoid. Okay, now we'll study about all the various things. So here comes larynx. So what did we study? We study the exact location where it is present. It is present in the midline of the neck. It is at the level of 3rd and 6th cervical vertebrae. So if the question comes, what is the exact coordinate of larynx? So now you know what is the exact coordinate of larynx. The exact coordinate of larynx is 3, 6, third and sixth cervical vertebrae. Okay. Larynx connects pharynx and trachea. Okay. You know it. Now I told you that there are total 9 cartilages. There are how many total cartilages? There are total 9 cartilages, in which 3 are paired and 3 are unpaired. So let us study about hyaline cartilages, and then we'll study about elastic cartilage. Thyroid cartilage. I had already shown you thyroid cartilage, and I have told you that it's the biggest cartilage. It is unpaired. It consists of 2 laminate which are not joined, As I had told you that if you take a piece of paper and you try to fold like this allows the formation of a laryngeal notch. This allows the formation of a laryngeal notch. This notch is more prominent in men. And what is this notch called? This is known as Adam's apple. Okay. Thyrohyoid membrane connects to the superior portion of thyroid to the hyoid bone. I had showed you in the diagram, if you remember, this is the hyoid bone and this is the thyroid cartilage which I had drawn, and this is the hyoid bone, and there was this thyrohyoid membrane, and there were ligaments. This was the median thyrohyoid ligament and the lateral thyrohyoid ligament. Okay, now the second hyaline cartilage is cricoid cartilage. It is a complete ring. It is a complete ring. So no interruptions like thyroid. Okay, cricoid and trachea are connected by ligament. Cricoid and trachea are connected by ligament. I told you that if this is thyroid cartilage, this is cricoid cartilage. So this is the muscle and this is the median cricothyroid ligament. Okay, so this is connected by a ligament and there are muscles also. This is the ligament. What is the name of this ligament? Cricothyroid ligament. And these are the muscles. That's why I've told you the structure and the positioning of all the cartilages before, so that you can understand better. Now, arytenoid cartilage. It's not adenoid. I'm so sorry. I have said it adenoid. It's arytenoid. Okay. It's arytenoid cartilage. These are the only hyaline cartilages that are paired. Many a times this question has come that which is the only hyaline cartilages that is paired. That is the arytenoid cartilage. It is placed on the, it is like this, pyramidal in shape. These are the vocal ligaments and these is the arytenoid. Okay, these are the arytenoid and it is placed on cricoid. Okay, on its apex it's connected to another cartilage. To what cartilage it's connected? It's connected to corniculate cartilage. Okay, these are arytenoid. Okay, so now we'll see hyaline cartilages, the anterior view. This is the thyroid cartilage. Okay, this is the thyroid cartilage. This is the cricoid cartilage. This is the cricothyroid muscle. And this is the cricothyroid ligament. Cricothyroid ligament, cricothyroid muscles. Okay. And what is this? This is thyrohyoid membrane. thyrohyoid membrane. And what is the ligament that is here? That is the median thyrohyoid ligament and lateral thyrohyoid ligament. Okay. And this is the trachea with its cartilaginous ring. I'll be, after larynx, I'll be posting this video about trachea. Okay. So we'll go like this: trachea. After this larynx, trachea, I'll post, and then I'll post bronchi. Okay. And this is understood. Now let us see the posterior view. Okay. So let us see the posterior view. Okay. So in the posterior view, what we can see, that this is the cricoid cartilage. Okay. And on this, there is this arytenoid cartilage. This is this arytenoid cartilage. On its apex, it is connected to corniculate cartilage. On its apex, it's connected to corniculate cartilage, right? And here there is epiglottis. It is a flap-like structure. It is a flap-like structure that is tapered below. That is tapered below, and it is tapered from below. And the second point, it is attached. It is attached to the anterior rim of thyroid cartilage. To the anterior rim of thyroid cartilage. Okay. Okay, and what is its function? It acts like a trap door. It acts like a trap door. What do we mean when when we say it acts like a trap door? It does not allow the food particles to go into the windpipe. Okay, to the trachea. Okay, now we'll go further and we'll study about elastic cartilages. So we had already done about hyaline cartilage. We had already done about hyaline. There were 3 cartilages. What were the names? That was the thyroid cartilage. That was the biggest cartilage. Cricoid cartilage. That was a ring-like cartilage. And this arytenoid, which is the only paired hyaline cartilage in larynx. Okay. So now we'll study about the elastic cartilages. The first thing is epiglottis. We also say it epiglottic cartilage. In some books, it's written as epiglottic cartilage. So what is the function? It closes the laryngeal inlet and allows the food to go through esophagus. Okay, generally it's open, but when we are eating, it allows the food to go to esophagus. It closes the trachea. It is attached to the anterior rim of thyroid cartilage and hyoid bone. The broad superior portion, like this is the epiglottis. So we are talking about this portion. The broad superior portion is free to move up and down like a trap door, like a tuck, 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 like this. Its main function is to seal the windpipe during eating, and it is unpaired. Okay. Corniculate cartilage, we had seen that if this is arytenoid cartilage, there was this corniculate cartilage, right? It is horn shaped. It is paired. It is horn shaped. Okay. It is paired. Okay. And it is located at the apex of arytenoid. So this is arytenoid cartilage, and this is corniculate cartilage. Okay. Cuneiform cartilage, these do not attach themselves to any cartilages, and just muscle and ligament. So this in the posterior portion of when we were looking, we saw that there were these arytenoid cartilages, and there was this corniculate and cuneiform cartilage. These are not attached to any cartilages and just muscles and ligaments. These are paired and these are club or wedge shape. They support the vocal cords and lateral aspects of epiglottis. Actually speaking, the real function of cuneiform is still unknown. It's not known. We just the scientists feel that this function is cuneiform cartilage. Its function is to support the vocal cords and the lateral aspects of epiglottis. The lateral aspects of epiglottis. So here you can once more see this is the posterior diagram, right? There are three paired cartilages. What are the three paired cartilages? Cuneiform, corniculate, and arytenoid. Okay, arytenoid. These three are paired cartilages. Okay, in which cuneiform and corniculate are elastic cartilages, and arytenoid is hyaline cartilage. Okay. So now we'll study about vocal cords. How the how there is voice production by larynx. Oh, before this, I'll just tell you few points that you can remember. I'll tell you about the lining of larynx. It is a very favorite question about asking the lining of each and every structure that we study. So the lining of larynx, first point, superior to the vocal cords. Superior to the vocal cords. It is non-keratinized, stratified, squamous epithelium. Okay. While that, the second part, inferior to vocal cords. Inferior to vocal cords. It is how? It is pseudo stratified, ciliated columnar epithelium. Important thing to remember, superior to vocal cords and inferior to vocal cords. Plus goblet cells. We know what goblet cells do. They secrete mucus. And what does this mucus by goblet cell do? What is the function of the mucus that is produced by goblet cells? It helps to trap the dust, okay, which is not removed in the upper passages, right? And what else can I tell you? Okay, let me just remember if there is anything else important that okay, this is what I want to tell you about larynx. Now we'll go to vocal cords. Vocal cords, voice production by larynx, right? So see, there is this is like zoology or biology, especially human physiology, is like a well. You can study and study and study and study. It's endless. But obviously, the aim is to clear the exam. What is our aim? The aim is to clear the exam, right? We can just keep on studying and we'll reach nowhere. So I am just telling you those portions which are important from the point of view of your exams. Okay, from the point of view of your exams. I will take up the questions also, and in case, even if I'm making some other video and I feel that no, I should have told that when I was doing larynx, I will obviously tell you that, right? I will obviously tell you that, because in my first video I had told, leave zoology to me. You just study zoology here, you learn zoology here, you learn the questions, and then obviously you keep time for physics, chemistry, botany, because each and every subject is important. And zoology and botany, you should get full marks. You should get full marks. because generally what is seen is that kids who are appearing for NEET are a little bit, you know, be true, a little bit scared of physics and chemistry, right? So you have to get in zoology and botany full mark, and this is my aim. See, people say that that there are very less seats. I don't care. No, we don't care about whether there are 1,000 or 50 seats or 1,000 seats or 10,000 seats, whatever. What we care is that how many seats we want. We want just one seat for ourselves, right? And that one seat for ourselves in medical college, how will we get? Very simple. You have to do just one thing, and that is what you have to study. That's a simple thing. You don't have to do many things. You have to do just one thing, that is a study. Okay, so let us now complete this larynx by studying vocal cords. Okay, vocal cords. Vocal cords are made up of elastin fibers. Very important. They are made up of elastin fibers. And I have not given a picture. Okay, no issues. Vocal cords. The mucous membrane of the larynx. The mucous membrane of the larynx forms two pairs of folds. A superior pair called the ventricular folds or false vocal cords, and an inferior pair called true vocal cords or vocal cords. The space between the ventricular folds is known as rima vestibuli. Rima vestibuli. So what happens is that if we see from above, so if we cut it, we see like this. Okay, this is the epiglottis. This is the epiglottis, and these are the vocal cords. Okay, these are the vocal cords, and these are made up of what? These are made up of elastin fibers. Okay, so what happens is this is a membrane. Okay, this is a membrane. Okay, so during inhalation and during exhalation. During inhalation and during exhalation, two things we need to know in vocal cords: what happens in inhalation and what happens in exhalation. During inhalations, vocal cords are relaxed. Okay, vocal cords are relaxed, while in exhalation what happens is that vocal cords come near to each other. Vocal cords come near to each other, and this space becomes narrow, and there is vibration of vocal cords, and due to those vibrations, what happens? There is the production of sound. Vocal cords are relaxed. During exhalation, what happens? This come close. So what will be the structure like? The structure will be like this. They come close. Okay, and this is the membrane, membranous sheath, you can say. Okay, and this space is known as rima glottis. Okay, so during exhalation they come close, and then there is vibration of vocal cords, and due to which sound is produced, right? So this is what I want to tell you in vocal cords and larynx. If you want, I can revise it, or we can just see that what we have studied. Let's see. So we started with larynx. Now, what is the exact location? First question, exact coordinates or exact location. C3 to C6. What does larynx connect? Pharynx and trachea. Second question, how many how many cartilages are there in larynx? How many cartilages are there in larynx? Answer is 9. How many are paired? 3. Unpaired? 3. Okay. And hyaline cartilages 3 and elastic cartilages 3. Okay, now I'll ask some questions. You just tell me which is the biggest cartilage? Which is the biggest cartilage? Okay, cricoid, thyroid, arytenoid, cuneiform, corniculate, thyroid. Okay, and which is a ring-like cartilage? Question 2, which is a ring-like cartilage? Thyroid, cricoid, arytenoid, epiglottic, cricoid. Cricoid cartilage. Okay, what is Adam's apple? Next question. What is Adam's apple? Adam's apple. What is Adam's apple? It is more prominent in men. You know this, it is more prominent. What is Adam's apple? It is the laryngeal notch. Okay, it is the laryngeal. It is the laryngeal notch. Okay, and some other questions. Paired hyaline cartilage. Paired hyaline cartilage, arytenoid cartilage. Paired hyaline cartilage. Okay, then the question, cartilage above cricoid, arytenoid. And cartilage, another question, cartilage not attached to any other cartilage, cuneiform, right? Cuneiform. Before I finish the question, the answer should be in your mind. What is the trap door in larynx? Epiglottis. One more question. Goblet cells are present where? Are present where in larynx? Superior to vocal cords or inferior to vocal cords? Inferior to vocal cords. One more question. Vocal cords are relaxed during inhalation or exhalation? Think quick. Fatafat think. Inhalation or exhalation? Answer is inhalation. They are relaxed in inhalation. Okay. In exhalation, they come close and vibrate. Okay. Okay. What else question can we think of? So I think this is what I want to. Okay. One thing I can tell you more. What is laryngitis? What is laryngitis? It is the inflammation of larynx. Inflammation of larynx. Okay. So this is what is all about larynx. The next we'll do trachea, and then we'll do bronchi. And after this lecture, this will be the next lecture. That is lecture 3. And after that, I'll do lungs. I'll do the structure of lungs. Structure. Okay, the structure of lungs, that will be lecture 4. And then we will start with what? Then we will start with, what are we going to start with? We are going to start with mechanism of breathing. We are going to start with mechanism of breathing. We are studying all these things just to study mechanism, because if we don't know the structures, we cannot study this. Okay, so it is very important to study the structures. So I will try that you do as many questions as you can, and stay home and stay safe and study hard. Best of luck. Bye bye.